Hi, I'm Elliot Herrod, born and raised in Lawrence, Kansas, and have made my way to Sonoma County about 6 years ago. I'm the director of hospitality and tasting room coordinator for Reeve Wines under the Overshine Collective, working directly with the team in sales, but also in connecting with our guests and driving kind of the future of what these brands have to offer. When it comes to Next Gen Wine Awards, I think there's a huge curiosity when it comes to where exactly the next generation is heading when it comes to beverages of choice. And I think that wine definitely has a place within that setting. And I think it's all about not necessarily prescribing that generation with what that beverage is going to be, but allowing them a tool and a way to communicate that curiosity and that discovery for them. Being a younger consumer myself and just a young individual in the industry, I find that people in my demographic and my age group really want an approachability, not only when it comes to the information that are being told to them about the wines, where they're from, the growing practices, how they're made, but also within that price point and the approachability of being able to take something home and not feeling too precious about it. When it comes to my generation and our perspective of wine, we've been rooted in traditionalism for so long. And nowadays, we have technology that has really fostered this growth within this globalization of wine. We're not only able to, travel the world in a glass, by tasting through these wines of different appellations, but different styles, different innovative characters. We're also able to, learn about those at a little bit more of an accessible rate. Our last generation, a lot of the wine education was based off of an oral tradition, whereas nowadays we actually have technology that can drive that. And there's fact checkers, I mean, just left and right. So being educated on what's real and communicating that properly with our next generation is going to be really massive. When it comes to this next generation, I find myself being an individual that seeks out experience and connection. In a day and age where we're slowly being taken over by AI and everything is becoming less real, a lot of people my age, as well as within my demographic, want to touch grass and get to what's real. And they want to connect with individuals that have their own experiences and their own perspectives. They want to be curious about those things, being able to not only communicate about them, but also have this kind of dialogue about them. The narratives are going to shift really dramatically when it comes to this curiosity of what's real and what's maybe commercialized, what's artificial. So I'm pretty excited about and bullish about these experiences that connect these individuals with tactile things that they can actually touch, that are tangible, that are going to shift and change with time. And wine is definitely a great way to do that. I don't think there's anything else that it couldn't be, more authentic in a lot of ways. It's a true translation of time, place, and person. There's a lot of style and a lot of culture and art behind it. When it comes to the wine industry and having seen some dramatic shifts within the economics of how we operate and how we've chosen to operate over the past decade, I think that there's something really exciting about the future that's in front of us through not only that globalization that I've mentioned before, but also the diversity and the voices that are being outspoken within our industry. I think that there's more tools than ever for people to get their voices out there, to be heard. And I think that competitions like Next Gen Wine Awards, it's one of those that is going to really help foster those connections and relationships between younger consumers, traditional consumers, but then also, the interconnected practices of people of this world, these different perspectives. I think that there's going to be a huge cultural shift.